SportZ is back. Now I'm back at Abbey Motorsport, and while I'm here, I want to see if I can improve the stance with some spacers. But unfortunately, I still don't have the carbon parts on it, and I can tell you it's been as frustrating for me as for you. I had the suspension raised in order to make space for a new carbon front splitter, and the body shop cancelled on me after I'd done it. If you saw in the video where I did raise the suspension, you'll have seen that we found a bit of an issue with the hydraulic lift.
It's so oily.
Do you think it's weeping?
See, it's more wet on that side.
So you can see here that this is all dry. Now this one, unfortunately, you can see here, there's like oil. So this is where the line comes in. So it gets the hydraulic fluid pushed in there, and that pushes that up like that, which lifts the suspension.
Guess we need to get Scott, contact KW and sort that out, yeah?
Okay, so you reckon it's the cut that's leaking?
Yeah.
Now I'm back to have that fixed, and while I'm here, I want to see if I can improve the stance with some spacers. And these are the spacers. I actually tried these before, but because the car was sitting way too low, I just couldn't, they just wouldn't fit. There was too much rubbing, but I kept them, and we're going to try these out today. These are 20mm spacers. All right, so what's that? We've got the parts here. A hydraulic cup. Mark's got a haircut. He wanted to look good on camera.
Yeah.
He won't admit it, but every time I come here, Scott says he's doing his hair, trimming his beard, touching up his makeup, making sure he looks good on camera.
Yeah, always. Been anti-shine for this morning.
Right, so let's hope that that solves the problem. I've actually gone through that whole bottle of oil, all of it.
Really?
Yeah. They're making me work. I'm having to carry my own parts. There she is. What do you want this?
I'm hiding. I've been doing my hair.
Didn't they tell you? Didn't they tell you I was coming? And you know when I come, it's going to be the camera. Right, so there we go. This is what the car is looking like at the moment. If you just have a look there, you can kind of roughly see how in the wheels are. They've always been like that. And I didn't really care because it was sitting so low before, but now we're going to see if we can actually just bring them out just a little bit, just to bring them a bit more flush with the edge. A lot of people go for 20mm spacers. I think we're sitting a little bit too low for that, but we'll see. So you can see a bit more in on the front, but our first priority has to be fixing the hydraulic cup. Let's get the car into the shop and see if we can get rid of this oil leak on my front right suspension. And as you can see, this is the paintwork that I need to get fixed. It looks absolutely terrible. It just does my head in. That's why I need the front bumper painted. It's a really bad job on a repair that was done before, and it was just too soft. The stone chips all over this side of the car. Hardly anything on this side where it's all nice and hard. But where this repair was done, it was just done badly, so I found a new body shop. This side has to come off because he needs to loosen the drop link, because there's actually essentially a connection between both sides of the suspension.
Basically, on the other cars, you would have separate drop link and bolt for the lower bolt for the shock.
So loosening it on this side means that it's easy to work on that side.
Yeah, I just need to loosen it up and push it forward, so the angle of the anti-roll bar changes, so I can pull the other one out.
Yep. There you go. So the anti-roll bar connecting both sides, loosen the drop link on the other side, in order to get some movement on this side so you can actually get the parts off, because the cup is actually on the damper itself. Now we're going to see if we can get it off and hopefully get the system bled using the 39 pages of instructions from KW. And once we've done that, then we'll be able to test out the spacers, so hopefully we'll fix the stance, and that might mean I can actually leave the ride height where it is, so that when the new front splitter goes on, which is going to bring it down by about that much, or hopefully then we'll have just enough clearance to make the speed bumps with the lift. Even though it's not as low, the stance will just be a little better. Yeah, Marek's using the Jeremy Clarkson method of fixing suspension. Well, that's just to get one of the pins out. Now we've got some movement. Ah, look at that. All fresh. And look, you cleaned it all up as well. It looks lovely.
Yeah.
Look at the Abbey Motorsport sticker on there, it's still looking fresh.
stuff just inside. But you can see there's a seal there. It might have been coming through that seal as well.
Thanks to some help from Scott cleaning up the old part, what we can see now is that the seal has gone here. It's actually popped out. So unfortunately, yeah, that's an issue. This is all being done under warranty because it was within the 2 years of having it. But nonetheless, what I'd rather do is get the other one off. Let's take a look at that one, make sure that that's not in the same condition, and go from there. So just as a precaution, what we're going to do is we're going to take the cup off the other side as well and just check that that one doesn't have any issues likely to, you know, cause a failure down the line. Because these are not cheap. These cups are over £500 each. So what I don't want to do is just wait until that fails. So we're going to take it off and give it a sort of service, if you like, just to make sure that it's less likely to fail in the way that this one has. It probably will be just fine. It could just be a one-off. And to be fair, you know, all the other components on the suspension have been flawless, but better safe than sorry. So now it's all about getting those spacers on and seeing if we've got enough clearance and seeing if I can keep them on. I'm hoping I can, because it will look really cool. And then I'm going to test drive it and see if the way it then handles as a result of the spacers is something that I can live with. So Marek's just topping up the oil in the boot. What's interesting is the hydraulic lift on the KW HLS 2 is self-bleeding. So essentially, to get any air out of the system, you just have to lift it up and drop it down about 10 times. The next thing is we have to get it aligned again because the suspension's come off and has to go back on. So obviously the alignment has to be redone. Well, what we can see is with those spacers on, it looks absolutely wicked. It's just fills the arch so much better. However, the only problem we've got is these trim pieces here, which I really don't want to take off. I originally didn't want them, but in the end I decided I like them. When the suspension compresses, the wheel actually kind of goes in at the top and out at the bottom, which is, you know, how you end up with a flat contact patch on the outside loaded wheel. If that goes in enough, then we'll be all right. If it doesn't, then they're going to have to come off. So let's see. Right, so he's going to take her for a little test drive to see if there's any rubbing. Honestly, at the back it looks very close. These look, just for the ride heights, it looks a little bit much. Okay, we've got a slightly tighter bend here. This person will just get out of the way. Bloody hell. It's a pretty good road to test it on. It's a pretty bad, bumpy country lane. Oh my God. Oh, and I will admit, with these spacers on, the car actually feels wider. Oh, no. There we go. That was the first little rub. Just over certain bumps you get like, oh, that was a tight corner. I'll get back, I'll have a look, see if there's any additional damage to the arch liners. So we're back now. We were just inspecting the tyre. It's here, isn't it? Look. Yeah.
You can see a bit there, but that whole thing around
yeah, wow, there.
Like that far, so that's how far your suspension compressed before it actually touched that. Might be a little mark here. Usually before we had problems with this area mostly.
Yeah. Maybe a bit of rubber on this part as well.
Where that kind of goes back in, without this it wouldn't rub.
No, it'd be fine. But the thing is, this is part of the Nismo kit and I don't want to lose it. Those spaces are not going to fit. So I'm all done here at Abbey Motorsport. A huge thanks to everyone here. We've got the KW HLS2 hydraulic lift all sorted now, and we tested out the 20mm spacers. I'm pretty sure that it would probably fit on a stock ride height. Anything lower than that, it's likely to be some trouble. Make sure you give this video a like, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, choose notifications on all videos, and I'll see you next time on SportZnTouring.